What's going on, you guys? It's AskCat bringing you guys another Black Ops 6 video, and in today's video we're going to be reacting to the Season 3 trailer for Zombies. It's going to be covering the map Shattered Veil, and this is about 4 days late as of me recording this right now, so like the video came out like 4 days ago, and so I've watched it a few times here and there, and I've also watched a few other people's reactions to it and kind of trying to gain a little bit more insight, because on my personal first watch through, I didn't really think there was too much to go on, but like I'll kind of go over all that when we get to that point. But I'm just gonna let it play through the first time without my face cam in the way, so I'll go ahead and let it have it, you know, play it in its entirety without me obscuring the view, and then we'll go ahead and get into my like initial thoughts and like opinions on what I was thinking when I first initially watched it, and then we'll kind of get into what people have been talking about, and then we'll go into the blog post and kind of hop back and forth. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Hopefully you guys enjoy. See you guys in there. Peace.
Can you even believe this place?
Sit your slimy ass down. The sizzle sells itself.
Someone give me a 10-gallon hat. I'm going full cowboy on these bastards.
You're not sure you have the right floor?
It is so nice to meet you face to face, Plate.
You don't trust me, fine, but you cannot trust her.
Alright, we're back. So now that we played that through, before we get into anything, I actually wanted to just go ahead and say, like, the first 30 seconds of this, I don't know how much hate I'm gonna get for this, or how much people are gonna, like, even be able to, like, even comprehend what I'm comparing this to, because, like, I don't know how many people actually played this game, but there was a Xbox exclusive called Redfall that came out in, like, 2020, maybe 2021, and needless to say, it flopped, but it was basically like a vampire hunting game. But besides that, like, the first 30 seconds of this trailer just give me Redfall vibes, like, up and down. Like, the whole, like, scenery, aesthetic, the vibes, and especially the music, it just sets that tone perfectly. But, yeah, so, kind of get into things here.
Can you even believe this place?
Looks like we have an arsenal machine down there, right there, kind of off in the back, kind of like right here as he's walking up the stairs. And then I think I also saw a PhD right there, yep, and then there was a gobblegum machine down here. And then I was hearing somebody say that this trap right here, this microwave trap or whatever this is, somebody said it reminded them of the Guardian from Black Ops 2, and I was like, dude, why did I not think of that? Like, that's so accurate.
The sizzle sells itself.
Someone give me a 10.
And then, dude, every single time I see this machine, I just get a big smile on my face. Every time I see those saloon doors open and I see that zombie just whip out his pistols and start blasting, dude, I just agree with the community's, like, sentiment that this is, like, one of the best redesigns for a perk machine to date. Like, just hands down, such a cool design. And then also, I wanted to point this out. I don't know if this is part of the machine or if they did this purely for the trailer, but you can kind of hear him start to laugh, and it sounds like, you know, that old, like, classic Zombies laugh when you die, and it would give you, like, that game over screen with the scoreboard or whatever. It sounds like that laugh, so I'm wondering if they tied it to this machine, or if that was purely just, like, for the trailer. Yeah, like, that'd be cool if they actually tied that to it. And this, my initial thoughts on this, I didn't think too hard on it, obviously, but I was like, did they somehow tie in the Janus Towers into this map? Like, that would have been so cool, because then they wouldn't have had to do, like, you know, Janice Towers as its whole separate DLC. But after watching a few people react to it and, like, just, like, you know, using some common sense, it literally just, yeah, no, it's obvious that they're gonna do Janice Towers as its own, like, separate DLC. And then one of these last times I was watching this through, because I've recorded this video a few times, tried to get, like, a better take on it or whatever. This area down here, apart from, like, you know, looking at the SAM AI, like looking at the other directions or whatever, like as you're going through the rest of this video, gives me carrier vibes from Advanced Warfare Exo Zombies. I don't know if it's only me, but yeah, so we'll kind of go over that in a minute. But we also get the return of the Ray Gun Mark II, and as you can see, everybody can carry it. It also has 3 different variants, the W, the P, and the R, I believe is what they are. We'll get back into that in a second when we're going over the blog post. They don't end up showing any of the variants in the trailer or even in the blog post. They kind of go over what they do and kind of what makes them different. But yeah, and then we see our new zombie type, which I believe are, they're toxic zombies, but I believe they're supposed to be like the dog rounds or like the pest waves. So from my understanding, we're supposed to be having toxic zombies and then also parasites. I'm not sure if the vermin are returning, but yeah, we are at very least going to be having these toxic zombies and the parasites. And then we also got the Wonderwaff DG2. And this right here, this confused the hell out of me the very first time I saw this. Because as you can see, like, I don't know if it's the lighting in the room or what, but this looks like a gold mangler cannon, right? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like a gold mangler cannon. So my initial thought was like, whoa, are they giving you the option to pack-a-punch or like upgrade this mangler cannon to some capacity, or like, hey, even throw like a camo on it or something like that? But I completely overlooked this, which is the new Gobblegum. And yeah, it pretty much gives you 4 different score streaks, that being like an ARCXD, mangler cannon, I believe a sentry turret, and then also a mutant injector is what it gives you. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work, actually, considering, you know, you have 4 different score streaks. So is it going to kind of just like you pop the Gobblegum and then is it just going to make you kind of go around the loop and you have to use them in that order? Or is it going to be like 4 separate individual like activations of the Gobblegum, and then each time it gives you a different score streak? Like, I'm not sure how that's going to work. Or like, are you going to just pop it once and it's going to give you all those score streaks and you can kind of cycle through them at will? Like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. And then, yeah, like, right here. Like, after it shows the mangler cannon, all this right here. This reminds me of carriers so much. All of this stuff down here. Like, this facility, like, cargo containers and all this down here. And then one other thing. I was watching somebody else's reaction video and going over a few other things. They were saying that the Wonderwaff DG2 in Vanguard Zombies, which I never played all the way through by any means, so I can't confirm or deny this, but he was saying once you pack-a-punch the DG2 in Vanguard Zombies, it would actually have red red lightning or electricity come off of it, and that's what you can see right here. So I'm wondering if we're getting like the Vanguard version of the DG2. Like I said, I can't confirm or deny, so it's like, I don't know. I just figured I'd throw that in there. And then we see Maya using the new score streak, which was the death machine. And then you can see some buffed zombies back here, which are tied into this elder disciple right here. And then you can see all these like alchemy runes, insignia, like I don't know.
But you cannot
logos, emblems.
her.
And then at the very end right here, we get a Richtofen quote.
You don't trust me, fine. But you cannot trust her.
If you don't trust me, fine, but you cannot trust her. I'm really hoping that that has some strong story implications and that gets furthered. We definitely need a good furthering in the story for this map. Otherwise, I feel like a lot of people are going to be turned off by this whole game's like collection of maps, because they really haven't done anything to further the story yet. Like, so far they've kind of just introduced a bunch of different elements and haven't really done any of the connecting or the tying in yet. And that really needs to happen this map. Otherwise, I feel like a lot of people are just going to kind of fall off. Yeah, no, I'm really excited for this map. I really hope it does go well. That's pretty much it for the trailer. I'm going to go ahead and hop over to the blog post. And there's definitely a few things I want to talk about here. So this is just like an overview of that little like first entryway into the mansion once you get inside. As you can see, our toxic zombies here. People were actually loving the improvement on how they did this this initial recon tour. How they're doing this now. This is much better than how they were just kind of spilling out all the beans on freaking the tomb, giving like 4 or 5 different angles and 4 or 5 different photos of every room in the tomb. And that creates a problem because the player, like looking at those photos and stuff, you get this sense of like you've already explored the map before you've even played the map. So like oversharing in that sense is absolutely catastrophic to, you know, the longevity of like the exploration side of things. I definitely think this is a big improvement in terms of, you know, keeping the map more or less a secret up until it releases. Like, yeah, we're still getting a few views here and there like that we may not have gotten from the trailer, but I mean more or less we've seen everything that's in these photos so far. So it's like they're not giving us any extra information. So yeah, that's a good step. This is the new enemy type here. This, from my understanding, like I would have had no idea before like watching other people's reactions and stuff like that. This is basically like a high priest or like an occult member from the Chaos storyline in BO4. Yeah, they basically just made an elder disciple one of those like occult leaders. But these are also like, if you notice in the background, you can see like these buffed zombies. Like, so that's what he does. He pretty much buffs these zombies, gives them the ability to like evolve sooner so they could potentially turn into like a doppelgast or some other sinister form is what it says. But he basically gives them that opportunity to transform faster. And then also, like I was saying, you can see these alchemy symbols in the background, which were on Citadel, which I believe are also being carried over from the Chaos storyline. Hence why they're being tied to this elder disciple. And then also you can see these points of power from the Citadel Easter egg as well. Like those traps on the ground that you have to use these symbols for the melee macchiato for, and then you can actually do these. Yeah, so this is all kind of tying together a little bit. So again, good signs. Hopefully everything comes together a little bit more. Again, toxic zombies. These are, yeah, they say as a sticky yellow fog, or a sicky, as a sickly yellow fog descends from across the mansion, which is normally what you would see like on Liberty Falls, Terminus, whatever. You see that like yellow dense fog roll in as you get your vermin or your parasites or whatever. So that's why people are thinking, you know, this is more than likely our pest round. And then, yeah, like I was saying, we get our Ray Gun Mark II back, the DG2, and like I was saying, with the Ray Gun Mark II, there is 3 new variants. So the W is similar to an SMG, the P is similar to a shotgun, and the R is like a marksman rifle. The only one I've heard like mixed opinions on so far is the marksman rifle one. It's mainly just because they're not sure how it's going to act, you know, in terms of acting like a marksman rifle. Yeah, so the W, like I was saying, acts like an SMG, and it also has like almost like a napalm burst effect on it. But it's also like random chance. So, I mean, more or less like an ammo mod anyways. The P, like a shotgun, it drops like a sigil on the ground, which you can stand on and basically makes you invulnerable for like a temporary amount of time. And then the marksman rifle, it basically has like a brain rot ability on it. But instead of it like going to one zombie, it has like an area of effect. So I'm definitely interested to see how that one's going to work. Well, all of them really, because like I was saying, they didn't give us any photos of the other variants of the Mark II ray gun. So it almost has me wondering if the W, the P, and the R are just going to be different like firing modes instead of like actually having a different variant, like say a recolor, like, oh, this green turns to, you know, orange or blue or purple or something like that. I think it could potentially just be a difference in like a fire mode or something like that. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. And then this. A lot of people are hyped for this, and I would have to agree. Like, this is definitely a skin. It looks like it would be in like a bundle or something, but they're giving it away as a Easter egg completion reward, which is, in my opinion, hands down, this is a step in the right direction. I guess you could make an argument for both. Like, maybe this is a bad move because people want like a weapon skin or something instead. And like, I guess you could make the argument like the weapon skin would be more beneficial because you actually get to see it. Like, you're not really going to see a character skin or whatever, but like, I don't know, I guess those other people get to see the character skin more so than a weapon skin, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's going to be more noticeable that you're like the one who knows how to do the Easter egg, more or less. Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's pretty much there. He in case you guys don't know, he's supposed to be basically the Pentagon thief from the map 5 in Black Ops 1. And yeah, like I was saying, it's a skin for Carver for completing the Shattered Veil Easter egg. So reward skin. Then we get our double tap perk, which a lot of people are thinking it's going to be like the 1.0 version. So I would think from like what, Black Ops 2, I would have to assume is what that means. And then obviously it's going to be a little bit different because it has the augments or whatever. But yeah, I feel like a lot of these are going to be like either really good or really bad, especially this double or nothing one. Like there's no way they do a 50-50 chance on this, right? Like weapons have a chance to do double damage, but also have a chance to do 0 damage. There is no way that's a 50-50 chance, right? Because if that's 50-50, absolutely garbage, like useless. Nobody's going to use that augment. I would have to think Treyarch knows that, and they're going to make it at least like a freaking, what, a 70-30? Like, at minimum, they would have to make it at least like a 70-30. But like, if it also like procs every time, then it's like, that's also kind of not the point of it, you know? So yeah, here we go with the Gobblegums. This is something I've really wanted to like get into. So for one, I don't care about whimsicals. Just, I don't care to go over them. I don't use them. I don't see the point in them. Like, yeah, sure, they're fun here and there, like whatever. They're useless. I don't care. And then this is that support group Gobblegum that I was talking about that gives you the Mangler Cannon, the ARCXD, Sentry Gun, and then also the Mutant Ejector. So like I was saying, I'm wondering if you're gonna have to, like, as you can see on the Gobblegum, it almost looks like it's in like a set cycle. So I'm wondering if you're gonna have to pop the Gobblegum and then it just immediately starts going around that cycle and, you know, makes you use all 4 of them, or if it's going to give you all 4 of them, you have to activate them individually, like however you want, or like you have to activate the Gobblegum 4 different times in order to, you know, get a score streak to go. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that works. I'm definitely interested. But this other one, a lot of people I've heard just kind of say, oh yeah, I mean, I would have preferred something else. But this, I feel like people are absolutely underestimating how good this is going to be, especially when it comes to point boosting. Like, so this tactical diffusion Gobblegum right here, this disables the next nuke power-up explosion you activate and gives everyone 2,000 essence instead. So this, when I saw this immediately brought me back to World War II Zombies point strategy for early rounds and like opening up the whole maps. So what you would do, and this becomes more effective the more players you have in your game. Keep that in mind. So basically what you would do is you would have everybody bring in nukes, maybe 1 or 2 people bring in like double points or something like that, and right on round 1, you hit your double points, and then you hit a nuke, and then everybody else hits their nuke at the same time too. All those nukes points get doubled. So think about that using this method. So you hit, have everybody bring in double points, have everybody bring in nukes, have everybody bring in this tactical diffusion. Hit your double points, hit the tactical diffusion, hit your nuke, and then everybody immediately gets 4,000 points. Have everybody else go down the line, hit your tactical diffusion, hit your nuke. Tactical diffusion, nuke. Tactical diffusion, nuke. And if you do this correctly, you should have only had to hit 1 double points. So that would give everybody 16,000 points on round 1. Everybody, not just one player, every single player. That is so wild to me, bro. Like, Treyarch either overlooked this or thought about this and they were like, okay, we can't make it any more than 2,000. I don't know, dude, but I'm super excited to see that come back because that's straight up World War II vibes for me, dude. Like, and I understand not everybody's going to use it like that, so it's not going to be, you know, the most beneficial strategy all the time. Like, you would definitely have to be communicating with a squad in order to get that strategy to work. But yeah, so just keep in mind, you can bring in 3 Gobblegums right off rip. So you might as well make that one of them, make the nuke one, and then make the double points one. So it's like, you'd have a fucking, such a good point. Just give me 16,000s right off the rip. That's so wild. And like I said, that's obviously based on how many players you have in your lobby. So that would be assuming you had 4 players and then everybody was willing to, you know, work on that strategy together. If you're doing this alone, it's obviously going to be like a matter of like getting an extra 2,000 points, not as big of a deal. But assuming everybody does that together, dude, that's going to be broken. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it for this video, apart from just going over this really quick. And all I have to say about score streaks in zombies is I really don't care. I really do not care. I don't think they belong in zombies necessarily. And I don't think that, you know, I don't think you should be able to cheese an Easter egg or an Easter egg step by having a score streak. Like, I think that was one of the main things that turned me off of Cold War, if I'm being completely honest, was the fact that they had score streaks. And then as soon as I freaking started playing this game, I kind of got adjusted to it. So I think I would maybe go back around to, you know, Cold War at some point. But I don't know, dude. And then especially where it's like 250 salvage more than a quick revive. Or a self-revive, my bad, sorry. This thing has to be really good. It has to be, like, it has to have a decent amount of ammo, and it has to have, like, a good damage rate. Or, like, well, I mean, it says fast fire rate, high penetration, and large magazine. But, I mean, that's to be determined, you know? Like, that could be, like, 100 bullets is a large magazine for them. Like, I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I'd probably get my, like, diamond badge for it, which is, like, what, 500 kills, and then never touch it again, apart from, like, when it drops on the ground, which is literally how I use score streaks. Like, why would I go out of my way, waste salvage on it, when I could be buying, like, monkey bombs, Casimirs, freaking self-revives? Why? I'm not gonna waste my freaking salvage on that when I could be ranking up a gun. All right, so just real quick, one last thing I wanted to add. I almost forgot again. So on the day of Season 3's drop, which will be April 2nd, Warzone is going to be down. You can log into Warzone even though it's down, and you'll be able to get this Kilo 141 assault rifle as a login reward. And this is basically an assault rifle from Modern Warfare 2019, which has not been in game since 2019. So basically they're bringing it back, and you can play with it in, you know, Warzone and BO6 if you get it as the login reward while Warzone is down. So they're gonna basically put out the Season 2 update, or Season 3, my bad. Put out the Season 3 update. Warzone is gonna be down for a day until April 3rd. And like I said, the season update comes out on April 2nd, so it's going to be down for a day, but you'll be able to log into Warzone, get this 141, and then on the 3rd, when, you know, Warzone is back up and you'll be able to play Verdansk and all that, you'll be able to use the Kilo 141 in Warzone and BO6. I'm not sure if, you know, where you claim it on the 2nd, I'm not sure if you'll be able to go right over into, you know, BO6 and then start playing with it right off the bat like that. I'm not sure if that's how that's going to work or what, but yeah, at very least, you'll be able to, you know, play with it on the 3rd. I would imagine where you're going to go claim it on the 2nd, you'll be able to go right back over into BO6 and start using it, level it up, and do whatever you need to do and get it ready for Warzone if you wanted to do that. I wanted to, you know, make sure I throw this in there for those of you that haven't heard about this yet. So yeah, just make sure you log into Warzone while it's down on April 2nd, and you'll be able to get this as a login reward, and Warzone will be back up on April 3rd. But yeah, apart from that, everything else is like battle pass weapons or like event related weapons. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and end it there. Be looking forward to my Season 3 Shattered Veil like initial playthrough and like first opinions and thoughts. I'm gonna be doing that as soon as the, you know, my game updates or whatever on the 2nd. And yeah, so be looking forward to that. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you did go on to like the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.